Hello everyone, I'm Jaime and welcome to the Rooster's Den. In today's Commander Deck Tech video, we're going to be discussing one of the upcoming Sony Secret Lair commanders that will be coming out in a few weeks. But before I tell you what that is, you know what to do. Hit the music. Today's deck tech comes from one of my favorite PlayStation franchises, God of War. We are playing as Kratos, Stoic father, alongside his son Atreus Impulsive son. Kratos is a red, white, and two colorless 4/4 god warrior that reads, whenever you attack with one or more gods, and whenever a god dies, you get an experience counter. Also, at the beginning of your end step, put a number of +1/+1 counters on target creature equal to the number of experience counters you have. Atreus Impulsive son is a red, blue, and 1, 2/4 with reach that reads, pay 3, tap, draw a card for each experience counter you have, then discard a card. Atreus deals 2 damage to each opponent. The flavor for these two are absolutely perfect. In the past God of War games, Kratos is a rage-filled god. Since he is now a father, he finds himself in uncharted territory having to raise a young god. The struggles Kratos has on how to teach Atreus and how to be a better god than he was is well depicted in the experience counters you get when either he, Atreus, or another god attacks. The more you attack, the more experience counters you get, the stronger you become. Then we get Atreus, whose flavor on this card is just amazing. At first you just pay 3, tap, and draw a card. But as Kratos gets more experience, the more cards you draw. It's kinda like the stronger their bond becomes, the more powerful your deck will become. Atreus is also like a one ring in the command zone. The more counters he has, the more cards you draw, minus the life loss. So this deck is going to have 2 main things that'll help you win the game. First, proliferation to help grow the experience counter to as big as possible. The next, extra combat. This deck wants to be attacking, so we're going to load up on a bunch of extra combat spells to help us get extra combats so we can get more experience, so then we can draw more cards to find more extra combat spells. Okay, let's get into the deck. We start off with the creatures of the deck. We have 21 of them in total. 15 of them are creatures, 6 of them are gods that'll help out with the commander synergy. Let's get started off with the creatures. We have Grateful Apparition, who helps with proliferation when it deals combat damage. Marvin, Murderous Mimic, who is a second Atreus on the battlefield. Combat Celebrate, who gives you extra combats. Flux Channeler, more proliferation. Professional Facebreaker, and Knuckles the Enchada, who both help with treasure creation for ramp. Zarada the Dawnwalker, who reduces the activated abilities of Atreus by 2. Roaming Throne, who doubles our god's abilities, and Tekatha, who doubles proliferation. Goldspan Dragon, mana creation, who also, whenever you sack a treasure for mana, it doubles the amount of mana that treasure can produce. Karlach, Fury of Avernus, extra combat. Norn's Choirmaster, more proliferation. Orenthal, Sun's Glory. Whenever it attacks, you get an experience counter. Then create a 2/2 red rebel that is tapped and attacking for each experience counter you have. So if a bunch of people if a bunch of opponents you play get rid of Kratos, this is another creature that can help generate experience counter, to help Atreus draw more cards that'll get you into more extra combats. Aurelia the War Leader and Morag, Fury of Akoma, both provide extra combats as creatures. Finally, Katara, Waterbending Master. It helps with the experience counters, and it also helps you with card draw. So she is basically both Atreus and Kratos on one blue card, which is awesome. Now for the gods of the deck. We have Thassa, God of the Sea, whose scry ability at the beginning of your upkeep helps you dig through your deck to get rid of, to scry to the bottom cards you don't want and to be able to draw into cards that can hopefully help you out. Freya, Queen of the Valkyries, who's a reprint of Ironis, God of Victory, giving all your creatures menace, and she also reads, prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to creatures you control. With her on the battlefield, you don't have to worry about other opponents blocking since they won't be able to kill our creatures. And since Kratos' ability is an attack trigger ability, not a combat damage one, we can continue to build up experience counters. Finally, Heliod, God of the Sun, which gives our creatures vigilance, and then we can play a white and 2. Then we can create a 2/1 white cleric enchantment token. God Eternal Oketra. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 4/4 black zombie warrior. Porphos, bronze blooded. Other creatures you control have haste. The Locust God. Whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 blue-red insect token. This card here, paired up with Atreus and then one other card I'm going to talk about later, is one of our secondary win cons, which I can't wait to get into you with. But next comes the artifacts. We have 14 of them in total, 2 general utility ones, 6 equipment, and 6 mana rocks. First, we'll go off with the general equipment, and that is Staff of Completion. This one does a little bit of everything. You get card removal, card draw, and proliferation on one card. The next one we have is the One Ring, which is more card draw. Then we go to the equipments. First, Shadow Spear. Gives you +1/+1 lifelink and trample. Swiftfoot Boots, protection. Sword of Truth and Justice, protection from white and blue, and helps proliferate. Next, the Reaver Cleaver. Helps ramp and also gives you trample. Leyline Axe, double strike and trample, and Ember Cleave, which does the same, gives your creature double strike, trample, and +1/+1. Now onto the mana rocks. First we have Astral Cornucopia and Everflowing Chalice. Both get more powerful the more you continue to proliferate, and then there's Soul Ring. Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone, Thought Vessel, and that's it for the artifacts. Next we're going to the instants. We have 12 of them. We have Great Train Heist, extra combats. Might of the Meek gives your creature trample and draw cards. Swords to Plowshares, removal. Boros Charm, protection. Cyclonic Rift, one-sided removal. Experimental Augury, card selection and proliferation. Chaos Warp, removal. Flawless Maneuver and Teferi's protection. Valakut Awakening, card draw and land on the other side. And Akroma's Will, a win con. Next come the sorceries. We have 6 of them. Contentious Plan, draw a card and proliferate. Angel Fire Ignition, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. It gains Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, and Indestructible, and has haste until end of turn. This card also has flashback. Sundering Eruption, land destruction that makes your creatures unblockable with a land on the other side of the card. Tezzeret's Gambit, card draw and proliferation. Overpowering attack, extra combats, full throttle, more extra combats. Next come the enchantments. We have 10. Curiosity, card draw. Training Grounds, cost reducers for Atreus. Aggravated Assault, extra combat enabler if you can pay for it. Rhystic Study, card draw. Rising of the Day, haste giver. Unstoppable Plan, permanent untapper. War Leader's Call, a win con. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. With all the token generation we're generating in this deck, this thing could be a one-sided board wipe if we have enough experience counters on Atreus. Mimir's Ancient Wisdom, or should we say Teferi's Aegis Insight, card draw. Smothering Tithe, mana creator, and Inexorable Tide, proliferation. Finally, we come to the lands. We have 35 of them. Adakar Waste, Arid Mesa, Command Tower. Quarry Mountain Monastery, Demolition Field, Elegant Parlor. Evolving Wilds, Fabled Passage, Flooded Strand. Glacial Fortress, Hollowed Fountain, Inspiring Vantage. 3 Islands. Meticulous Archive, Monomino Schools at Water's End, and Mistwright Village. 3 Mountains, 3 Plains, Plateau, Regrin Triome, Reliquary Tower, Rogue's Passage, Sacred Foundry, Scalding Tarn, Seachrome Coast, Steam Vents, Thundering Falls, Tundra, and Volcanic Island. And that's it for my Kratos and Atreus Commander deck tech. I've intentionally built this deck as a bracket 4 deck, minus the Underworld Breach win cons. I feel this deck perfectly blends experience counter gains with Kratos and the card draw ability of Atreus perfectly with the experience that Kratos gives you with the proliferation that we have in the deck, and then the card draw ability of Atreus. Once you get this engine going, you should have no problems in attacking, drawing with Atreus, drawing into extra combats or things that are going to give you extra combats. attacking again, drawing more cards, and hopefully winning the game. I hope you enjoyed this deck tech. If you are liking what I'm doing, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate everyone that's been watching my videos. Once again, my name is Jaime with the Rooster's Den. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later in my next video.